Hey everyone, this video is mostly about AWS step functions. Okay, so let's get into the video. AWS step function is nothing but a serverless orchestration service. Okay, which is like it is going to map all the different service that is running in your AWS environment, guys. So that it solves the complex business logic that your business required. You can also say that step functions coordinate multiple AWS services to a single workflow, which means that if you are having different lambda functions, if you are having 10 different lambda functions, but your business logic is to speak to only the different business 10 different lambda functions, like if you are having from 1 to 10, but your business logic is based on it will be going to speak to the first third lambda function and fifth lambda function, and it needs to get the output from the 10th lambda function. So this can be achieved using the step function, guys. Under the step functions, you will be configured like for the first one, first state, it's to first step is to it should run the third lambda function. After that, it should run the fifth lambda function, and then it will run the 10th lambda functions. If any of these steps fail, then it should run this step like fourth lambda function. Like this, you will be configured the series of workflows, series of steps. Okay, this is the thing that mentioned here. It is coordinating multiple AWS services to single workflow. These are different microservices that's run in your AWS account, and it is masked, and it is workflowed or mapped in a flow like method. You can this is also you can see the flow chart, right? It's like a flow chart method. So let's see what are the different components of the function. Okay, it is a first one is state machine. State machine is nothing but a series of workflows, which is like series of steps. This step, the third one to fifth one to tenth one, which is a series of steps. So this we can say this as a single workflow. Okay. Then what is state? State is nothing but a step. Each step is a state, guys. So collection of steps as the states. You can call it as state. Okay. So if the third one is getting succeeded, then it will go to fifth one. This is a third step get succeeded, then it will go to the fifth step, and it will go to the 10th step. If it get failed, then it will go to the fifth step, right? So each one is a step. Each step is a state. Okay. What is a task? Task is an execution of the step. Here you can in the step, you will be mentioning that it should execute the lambda function. So this execution is a task. And here you can say the choice is like nothing like if else statement. If fifth one is true, then it will go to the 10th one. If fifth one is false, then it will go to the 11th one. So you can configure like this that is the choice. So wait is nothing but it should if one step is running, which is like it should wait for the output to get this step function or the to get this step succeeded. Okay. And then parallel is nothing but concurrent runnings. If the fifth one gets if the step is if the workflows come into the fifth one, and it will here if it is mentioned parallel, then it will start two workflows based on the configuration. Okay. Map is nothing but a series of map is nothing but it iterates like for loop. Okay, it's like a for loop, guys. It will be iterating the data based on the configure we set up. Okay. Failing is nothing but if as I mentioned that if third one is passed, then it will go to the fifth one. If it's failed, then it will go to the sixth one or seventh one. Okay, like this. If the fail can mention that this the function flow step is failed, and it will stop here, or it will mention this as success. If it is success, then it will mention this is a success, and it will stop here. So these are the components that is involved in the step function. Okay. So next is I will share you with an example. Here you can consider that this is a e-commerce platform. Okay, e-commerce platform. Here you can see there are different lambda function that is written, which is a different steps. which is validation order. This is the one step, this is one step, this is one step, which is you can consider like this is a task. When the workflow started, if it started from here, first task is it will check for the validation order, which is means it will check for the check valid order, whether it is a valid order, whether it's a valid user. So this kind of actions will be performed in this validation order. Once this validation order is successful, then it will move to the payment check, which is an transition. Okay, this is called a transition now, which means that once the validation order is successful, it will go to the payment check, which is like it is transitioning from validation order to payment check. If it gets failed, then it will move to the fail workflow, guys. So this is also a transition, which is like it's a failure transition, this is successful transition. And here you can check the payment check. Payment check is like whether it will check for the payment service, it will call the payment service. If the payment is successful, then it will go to the inventory. If the payment is failed, then it will go to the notify payment failure. Okay. The next is check inventory. Once the payment fail check is successfully succeeded, then it will go to the check inventory and it will check for the stocks, which is like it will check for the stocks, and then it will go to the next step, which is in stock. Okay. If it is this task get failed, it will go to the inventory fail state. Okay. Next step is in stock. It is a choice, guys. It is not a step task. It is not going to execute anything. It is like a choice. It will check whether if is in stock, we will be passing the variable from the check inventory to in stock. Whether if it gets true, then it will call this ship order function. Okay. If it gets failed, then it will go to the failure workflow, or it will go to the failure workflow. Okay. Then now if the ship order, if is in order step is true, then we will go to the ship order. And if the shipment are in here, we will be mentioning like ship order in here, we mentioning like it will call the ship order lambda function. Okay. Then it will move the next step, like notify customer. The notify customer state will be having the lambda function to call the notify customer page. So this is how this workflow will work, and it will be like a flow chart when you are seeing in the step function UI. So this is a basic example for this. So this is how it works, guys. Thanks for watching this video.